Yeah, all you Brits, get on your feet for Dave. Rock the body in close.
The finish line, and she hits the snow, and
that's when I started to scream.
Jesus Christ. What the hell was I thinking?
This is what I've been working for. World Cup ski racing is sick.
I'm Jimmy Krupka. I got my start at ski racing when I was 2 years, not ski racing, but skiing when I was 2 years old. It was always part of the family. Like, my middle name is Cannon, after Cannon Mountain. I think, like, the story goes that I saw a poster of Bodie at Cannon Mountain, like a Jeep sponsored poster. And I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, what is he doing on that poster? I want to do that. And I spent, like, the day just practicing my turns with my grandmother, being like, do I look like Bodie yet? When I graduated GMVS, that spring before I graduated, I went to like a tryout camp, and I qualified for what they called the National Training Group, which was melded with the D team. And so I kind of hopped my way onto the team, like latched onto the caboose, and then I stayed with the D team for 2 years, got cut, skied for Dartmouth for a year, but still had ski team resources in the summer. The following year was an invitee year with the U.S. team. The next year I was fully on the U.S. team, and the following year I was, because I'd been injured, and then I got cut again. So the U.S. ski team has written down criteria that I have to have a certain result at Europa Cups in order to fill those World Cup spots that they have available. And so the first 2 World Cups, I was able to race Gurgel and Madonna, and now I'm having to earn those spots. And so Europa Cups is the way to do it, and I've got to throw down at the Europa Cups. Also, criteria for requalifying for the U.S. team is based off of Europa Cups and World Cup results. So this is the path. The path goes through here. It was a rough one this morning.
Why is it so rough?
A little bit of jet lag. So I went to bed a little late, and then I had one of those mornings where I woke up thinking I was in a different hotel room. If I don't perform at these races, then I don't race Kitzbühel and likely not Schladming, which are the next 2 slalom races on the World Cup. Which means that if I don't perform here, it's another missed chance to get a criteria point for requalifying for the US team. And not only that, if I don't race those World Cups, those are 2 opportunities in which I could get a criteria point, and I'm not, because I'm not even racing them. So this is a bit of a crux. And basically every Europa Cup is another similar high stakes crux. And it gets worse throughout the year if I don't perform.
of course, Fleckenstein, one of the independent athletes on the World Cup this season. Fleckenstein being the only Canadian athlete racing speed after the retirement of Marie-Michelle Gagnon.
The biggest thing about ski racing is that no one's starts are their own. So every country has starts that they can give to athletes, and ultimately those starts can be taken away from you really quickly.
Takes on World Cup start 31. 26-year-old from Whistler, Canada. Stefanie Fleckenstein out of the gate here in Val d'Isère.
As someone like myself who's independent, I have to really fight for those starts. Otherwise, they're going to be given to other athletes.
A little bit chaotic over that first jump, but Chase a more positive result here tuck as well. 1.21 seconds back.
It's kind of a dog-eat-dog world where you're competing not only against your fellow competitors on race day, but you're also competing against your teammates and fellow countrymen leading up to the races. So that's something that, especially when you're outside of a national team fighting to get in, it can weigh a lot on you, and it doesn't always go in your favor. This is notoriously a track that you have to push, otherwise you're going to be slow. So I knew that I had to give it a lot more than I was comfortable with, and as I came in off the last jump into the last turn, I was really trying to push for the finish because I didn't want to give anything away.
Really flat throughout this section, driving forward through the finish line, and she hits the snow and she'll finish, and you can hear her shouts of discomfort. Oh, that did not look good for Steph Fleckenstein. Just caught an edge, and
as I was crashing, my left ski caught, and that's when it dislocated my knee and fractured my leg. And I knew something was wrong because I looked down and my leg was facing the wrong direction, basically. And that's when I started to scream and trying to get attention, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if people are going to come help you right away, and I knew that I needed help right away.
Curdling screams.
Does it hurt now?
No,
it's just
hard.
Yeah. And again.
I dislocated my knee. I, as of right now, have a torn ACL. We're unsure if there's more ligament damage because it was hard to get proper imaging. And I shattered my tibia plateau as well as broke the tibial head off. Some of the bone was so compressed that it was just gone, basically. They did CT scans and an x-ray quickly just to see what was going on, and then I'd say like within an hour I was being sent to surgery, and I woke up the next day with a massive fixator on my leg. I've had 3 surgeries so far, one to stabilize my leg, one to address the compartment syndrome that had developed, and one to put the bones back together with plates and screws. And now, to make sure that the bones are healed, we have to wait at least 10 to 12 weeks before they can hopefully fix my ACL, which in my case will be a minimum of a 9-month recovery. So right now we're at just over 4 weeks post-op, and we have a lot of weeks to go. I tried doing lots of little massages on them. This was her first year skiing after really bad. I don't see my career being done yet. It's so hard when you start achieving the results that you've dreamed of, and you can finally see yourself as one of the top skiers in the world, and then something like this happens. But it's also really motivating because I know that things were starting to go the way I wanted them to, and I was getting to a place where I was like, had been working towards for so many years. So I think it's just, maybe it's a bit of delusion where I see like a future for myself that is still achieving so many things, and I don't want to give up on that just because I'm faced with something that's hard in front of me.
I am qualified for a World Cup spot if I have had a top 10 result in any of the last 3 Europa Cups. So if I get a top 10 here, then I'll get a start in Kitzbühel and Schladming likely, and probably like Tahoe and Aspen. Sometimes I think about the stakes of the season, and the thought of that just brings up like a little butterfly, you know? It's just like shove it back down.
Uppercutting this, like you can really, go for it, like attack. Jimmy, run one.
Über 3 Sekunden und das war nicht so, macht man eigentlich nicht. Aber er kann es noch korrigieren im Ausflug. The next Jimmy Krupka aus den USA. The next one is Jimmy Krupka from the United States. 1700's the lead at the start for him, coming to the split time in a few moments. 124.67. This is not a good split time. Da ist er ganz durchgereicht worden, aktuell auf dem 4. Platz unterwegs und 3 haben wir in der Wertung. Also Sie sehen, der ist da nicht optimal reingehauen. Wie es ihm gelingt, kommt hier runter ins Ziel auf Platz 4. Currently 4th place for Krupka, 148.89. Time in the second heat, 54.37. So he is in place number 4. Also auf dem 4. Platz ist er zurückgefallen. Der US-Amerikaner 3 Plätze zurück. Der nächste ist ein Schweizer, ordentlich im Steilern unterwegs, aber da muss er schon noch nicht mal versuchen, hier seine 7 Zwetschgen zusammenzusammeln und Gas geben. In den letzten Stellungen. Die Einfahrt, die war stark. Die hat mir sehr, sehr gut gefallen. Da ist er gut rein, aber da fühlt er sich nicht wohl.
I said damn it, and I've been working on not saying anything, not even growling or hanging my head. So I'm bummed that but I don't know. I guess you got to show some emotion. It was just because I messed up at the top, and then I also didn't ski well on those last 10 gates, and I know that's where I blew the time. So it's my first time skiing the hill. I DNF won at the 6th gate both times I skied this race before. So today was good. It was better than that. Like, it wasn't my best skiing, but there were like moments of my best skiing. And I mean, honestly, it was my 2nd best Europa Cup result ever. I've historically not done that well here. And I always say I'm coming to Europe to beat the Europeans. I always don't beat the Europeans. So, like, I'll take that. Like, I'll definitely take that. And I'll take, like, making flip even with a not awesome run. You have to be skiing to win every day and be impatient with the process. But you have to be okay with bad days. Like, you don't have another option. So, I think that's probably my best way to put it.
Like, I've had good experiences and bad experiences with the leadership of the US ski team. They kind of balance each other out, but only good experiences with the team. Like, it's just a group of guys that is all driving for the same mission, cares about you when you're doing badly, and they like are pumped for you when you do well, even if they don't do well. At the beginning of the year, I had been given like kind of a deal by the team because I was so far behind because of my leg injury. They said, just get a World Cup spot, which is a top 2 North American ranking, and you'll be on the team next year. And we went into the final race, and 3 of us were separated by a couple of points. And it was like I didn't sleep for 2 nights before, which obviously didn't help, and I blew it on that race. And that day it felt traumatic because I'd been with these guys for the most part for like 6 years, and like when I say blood, sweat, and tears, it's literal. Like, we've all been through a crazy amount together. So those guys are I'm closest with those guys than I am with, you know, anyone else in the world. Like the ski team is kind of my brotherhood, and losing them was like, it sucked. It really sucked.
Come on, have fun!
Oh, wait, hold on. Back spasm. It almost went before second run, but I was able to stop it.
What was going through your head when you were sliding down a hill on your hip?
I was just, fuck, I guess. Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It was just boom, I'm out of the course. And that's the kind of stuff that traumatizes you, you know? Like that's why it's so hard to get back in the gate with confidence every single race, because sometimes if you're a little bit off, like boom, you straddled, you're out of the course, you're flying through the air, and it's hard to be like, yep, I'm just gonna go back there the next race and forget about it. But that's what you gotta do. The thought definitely goes through your head of, I bet a lot of guys will DNF. If I don't go crazy and just make it down, maybe I'll still move up. You know, that definitely goes through your head. But the feeling of getting to the bottom of the course and being like, wow, what a wuss I am. That feeling sucks way more. I've gotten to the bottom of a course too many times and felt like a complete wuss, and ended up in 25th. And you're like, great, like that. I'd rather have just sent it, made like 10 nasty turns and DNF'd.
What is it about?
I mean, I don't know if this is on the record, but I'm basically just going to call up the head coach and beg him to put me in at Kitzbühel and Schladming at the World Cups, just because I think I'm skiing well. I'll get some good training in before those races, and regardless, I just need experience on those hills. Like, I'm not looking for this year, I'm looking for a year down the line, 2 years down the line, when I'm going to be competing hard on those hills, and it'd be nice to get a chance to see them and ski them.
Is there anything else to take away from today?
I just try to take away the feelings. You know, it's I guess it's not necessarily put into words, but it's just like the feeling of skiing hard and fast on a steep, icy slope, and the feeling of that was only my third time making flip in the Europa Cup. I just haven't skied that many, so taking away that feeling of like, yeah, I belong there in the flip. I belong deep in the top 30, not just barely making it. So it's just a lot of various feelings to take away. And so it's definitely a learning experience. But I sometimes just get sick of learning experiences.
Fair enough. There's a lot of those.
Is there a positive takeaway from today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm out there ski racing and sending it on I'm doing something cool and I'm enjoying it.
So, yeah. So I'm just grateful to be here.
She is handsome, she is pretty, she is well loved, obviously. Hop, hop. Good. Yeah, I don't know if I've used those muscles a lot in the last month. Probably not. Good. Range. Ski racing has also just always been an outlet for me and a place where I feel very comfortable. I feel like I can be 100% myself, and you don't find that in a lot of things. So for me, it's just like truly trying to get back to the thing that I love doing more than anything, and I don't see myself being done.
Pull down, and then just all the way to your ears. Hold it, and then you put your arms up. We try to catch some apples from the tree. And after a few seconds, you change the side.
Realistically, if I do come back, I'm going to be coming back into an Olympic year, and it's going to be a big year because that's still one of my goals, is to qualify for Cortina. And yeah, I guess just I'm trying not to put too many timelines on things and just give myself the time I need to heal physically and mentally.
I show you,
okay,
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And then you
throw
it to me, and
okay.
I slowly put it back to you. Like,
okay. Oh God. That's fun. I think that everything you do or want to like achieve in life is going to take hard work, and there's nothing, like no one has it 100% perfect, and even the people who look like everything is going their way, everything, they never seem to lose or be in a tough position. I think that you just have to dig deeper to see that they're also going through their own struggles. And yeah, I think 100% the fight and the struggle is worth it, because yeah, nothing in this life is that easy. May as well make it a little bit harder. That's so hard.
you wanna do it without the weight?
No, I want to do it with the weight.
Reps and then a little break. Good. Come on.
Ten? Is that enough? That's like the weight of a bagel. I'd be more motivated if it was a bagel. There's definitely people in my life that think it would be better if I was done, or, you know, they think that I could ruin the rest of my life if I were to get another injury like this, not just my career. The surgeons have been totally straight up with me that they aren't advising I go back. Like, they have made sure I know it's a very serious injury. And but I have talked to lots of other athletes in similar situations to me who have been told the same thing and have come back and they have podiums on World Cup. So I think it's really just how much you're willing. I don't listen to other people that much, to be honest, especially people I don't know. So I think that you just have to take the opinions of the people you really trust into account and say screw it to the rest. Cut that out.
The Europa Cup races, the first race I got 28th, and the second race I was 23rd first run, and I DNF'd in the second run, which is a bummer because a lot of guys DNF'd and I could have moved up a lot and potentially made that top 10 criteria mark that the US ski team set out for me. But I didn't, and yeah, what was the rest of the question? Got a hold of the head coach of the US ski team, of the men's team, and he told me, no, we're going to stick to the criteria. Not getting a top 10 means not starting the next 3 World Cups, which is definitely tough for me because my criteria for requalifying for the US ski team is based off of World Cup results as well as Europa Cup results. I feel like the first thing that needs to be said, and hopefully you guys, like, I want you to put this in there too, is that as an athlete, it's very weird to like talk about this stuff publicly and to really talk about it at all, because the best way to do things is to just put your head down and to just keep working and to not complain. And I don't know if I should blame the US team or maybe I should blame FIS in the system where the NGBs, the national governing bodies, have all the power and they can decide who starts a World Cup or who doesn't, and independent athletes are just up to the whim of the NGB. Yeah, so I'll spend the next few weeks just trying to get fast and preparing for the next Europa Cups.
And Europa Cups are freaking hard. I've had way more success in World Cups than World Cups. If I had to go get top 10 in a Europa Cup, would be like, especially the first one. So then what? You have to wait till next year?
Yeah. Conference. And I really have to do it there, because if I don't do it there, that's the rest of the ball.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. See you guys. Maybe we'll come by.
Yeah.
What a football.
It's so slick in our park. I guess we can play right here.
Yeah. Be fun.
Okay.
Like, I just want you guys to show, like, just as honest as you can, every detail. The guys that are out there saying, oh, you know, the slalom team is sucking. Can't believe, and they come up with any number of reasons why the slalom team is sucking, and no one understands that you can't just sit in the back seat, look at results, and know the whole story. And there's always a grain of truth. The Facebook dads will be right. Yeah, the slalom team could be better. The last time we had a win was like 2007. The last time we had a podium, I want to say, was like Nolan Casper 2013 or something. And so we should be better. But it's also the same time as, it's not an excuse, but it's really hard. It's like really hard. So I just think that this video will be cool because it will show just more information. People will just have more information about what happens when someone ships over to Europe and goes at it at this level.
You guys stand back up again after getting hit down?
Yeah, duh. It's not stand back up again. I just pull myself along for a while. Like, my legs got blasted off by a grenade, and I'm just like, we just keep moving, and then next thing you know, I have legs again. And I'm like, wow, that was crazy.
It's only a dream. Nothing is really what it seems anyway.
My name's Wiley Maple. I'm from Aspen, Colorado, and I might be a masochist.
Every time I f*** up in World Cup, I'm like, that's probably fine. It's kind of like back in the day, I'd like hit check and I'd be like, no, I probably still got it. And back then it would work, but not here. Yeah, we're in Kitzbühel, Austria. We're hanging out in my tuning room. As you can see, it's the hallway below the kitchen. They have the industrial fridge right on either side of my bench, so I get nice whiffs of cheese anytime the staff comes through. I haven't been here in 5 years. Last time I was here was with my best friend as a technician, Sam Coffey, and I was potentially skiing the race of my life until I got flagged for the second time in 2 weeks. And I left Kitzbühel literally crying in my parents' arms, just totally out of money, and kind of felt like the universe was crashing down on me in some kind of insane sabotage. And 2 months later, Sam died. A month after that, my back broke, and 5 months after that, I retired. Skied my way onto the U.S. ski team right out of high school. And over the course of the next couple of years, I think I became the youngest American downhiller in a couple decades. Started my first World Cup in Wagen, Switzerland at age 20. And right around there is when it started to come unraveled. Basically, right when I was 18 or 19, I had my first microdiscectomy. I was having nerve pain down my leg. I had been kicked off the team with this back injury, just like not working. I was having like electric pain and not really being able to ski or compete or enjoy life really at all. The final nail in the coffin was a spinal fusion on my lower level. And they said there was no way you can run again, you can ski properly again, you won't be a professional athlete again, it's over. Bormio was where I really saw how much danger I was putting myself in. And for what, 50th place, like I wasn't moving like I could race, and I was just surviving these tracks, and Bormio put into sharp relief what the consequences were of pushing out of any World Cup start. But you know, Bormio and Kitzbühel are the tracks where it's like, okay, like you could die out here. So I walked out of the finish knowing I would never put a pair of race boots on again, and I was retiring right then. Basically, I finished college. I didn't really know what to do, and I started studying for the LSAT. While I was studying for that, I got all the hardware taken out of my back, and that was when I really started to feel like good, like really good. I started hucking myself off like cliffs and catwalks and tomahawking like I was 18 years old. You know, at the time I was instructing, I was bartending, I was writing and painting and just trying to like put this whole life together. And this was right around the 2020 Olympics. And then I saw a 42-year-old win a silver medal. I was like, this guy is 10 years older than me. He just rearranged completely what is possible in sport. And I was like, what do I got to lose besides everything? But entered the first races of the season without really any expectations except as a training opportunity, and ended up winning 4 out of 5 races over the next couple days in Chile. The ski team had pretty strict criteria they weren't willing to budge from, which was top 10s in Europa Cups, which didn't happen. The first Europa Cups of the year were the middle of December.
Wiley. Video. Wiley. Wiley.
Like as soon as I'd crossed the finish line in Santa Catarina, I was like, okay, you gotta do the next World Cup. That is in Bormio. And did it again the next day in Santa Catarina. I was like, okay, they can't deny 2 top 10s. It's for sure Bormio. And I basically spent the next week just panicking.
Wiley Maple.
The first training run, I hammered out and was back in it. I had top 10 splits, and that had me feeling like I was capable and it was possible. On race day, I kind of held the same expectations. I had a lot of fear just in having it be the first World Cup back, my first try. You know, I pulled the line together, and other than that, I had no idea how my skiing was.
Keep it together and find a strong finish.
And came across the finish. Into 12th, career best. It felt like a new beginning.
It's the best of the Americans. Best of Team USA to this point.
Looking up and seeing that 12 was like a double take, kind of. And then like as soon as it like kind of like settled in, I was like, life is a fucking joke. But hell yeah, I'm in. There's a quote that I can't remember who said it, but basically says like, live a true love story, live a this, live a that, tell no one, because people ruin good things, but most of it's already happened, so it can't be taken from me. And now I just want to see what the ending will be.
Yeah, this sport is, it beats you down, man. And it's been a long season of working really hard. And I don't think I've fully processed being here yet. I think I'm just trying to stick to my process and keep having fun and keep sending it and keep like paying attention to the details. Like, this is what I've been working for. World Cup ski racing is sick.
Full intro from like, as it never met me. I'm a Virgo. My favorite color is pink. Is it recording? I gotta think of, who am I? Existential question here. Am I really red? Did I just start sweating? Sorry.
Okay. Because I got a really great thing here.
My name is Jimmy Krupka, and I enjoy getting pitted, grabbing throttle, and ski racing, podcasting about ski racing, and the occasional collectible.
Yeah, coming back to Bormio, I was shitting my pants. And after the first run, I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell was I thinking?